Hello world, I'm Chris Pirillo. I work at Intel, specifically with Intel Graphics. I'm their community advocate. I'm representing here. I got my Odyssey Guide t-shirt that I got at GDC last year. And as many of you know, unfortunately, we didn't have a GDC this year. But that said, we do have the 2020 Intel University Game Showcase livestream. So we took just about everything we wanted to do in the real world event in Meet Space and made it virtual. So thank you for joining. Pardon any hiccups. We did our best to cram what would be an amazing in-person event into an amazing virtual event. Now, even though I'm broadcasting on my Twitch channel, the conversation is actually happening on the DevMesh Discord server. Those links will be, or that link, I guess, will be popping up in Twitch chat if you weren't already aware of that. We've got a couple of my regular channel moderators helping, as well as the DevMesh team who is joining me virtually on a call. So my audio is probably going to sound different from the DevMesh team's audio. And I also want to make sure that I mentioned before going too far into this that I don't know if I've nailed pronunciation of every game name. So if I make a mistake, please do forgive. But with that said, I'm very, very grateful that you're able to join. We are grateful, really, that you would be able to join during this time to see who made the finals, right? This is kind of like it's April Madness, better than March Madness, I would argue, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start and move on to introduce you to the co-hosts. Now, these are the virtual co-hosts. They are not I'm not pictured because I'm the thumb. Oh, hang on. I'm sorry, Cindy. I'm in front of your name. Hang on. Okay, there we go. Cindy is joining us virtually, as well as Eric and Bob. They are participating, of course, in the DevMesh Discord server, which, by the way, is open 24/7. Just so you know, it's not just about this live video. If you're interested in DevMesh and specifically what we're doing, I'm not a part of the DevMesh team, but wait, actually, can I ask, am I officially a part of the DevMesh team now?
You're an honorary member.
I'm an honorary member! Yeah!
You get a mug.
I already have a mug. That's okay. That's okay. I'm good. I'll take a mug. So here are their mug shots behind me, and so these are the people's voices that you will be hearing throughout this broadcast. You will not be hearing voices necessarily from the judges. And to say a little bit more about this, Bob.
Yeah, I want to recognize the judges here. If you guys are on Discord or Twitch, please shout out, do an instant message or something. I want to let everybody know, obviously, these guys are really busy. They come from industry, obviously, Unity, Epic, Riot Games, Bungie, SideFX. So, know, students and teams, that your games had visibility, that these folks took time out of their busy schedules to do this, and it was challenging. Obviously, as you guys can understand, with COVID and everything that was going on, and for us to go virtual, we had to work this within their schedules, and they made this a priority. So thank you, judges. Just a quick little clap for our judges there. I want to thank all of you guys for doing such hard work. And then I also want to give a special thank you to some Intel folks. Bobby O. Bobby O was the guy behind working with the judges, coordinating with them. So that was a big effort and a big job just in its own right. And then we also have to mention Randy. Randy is the godfather of this entire thing. Every year he's been part of this. This is his baby. So just, if anything good happens out of this next, 40 to 50 minutes, it's Randy, because we took all the best practices. He helped coach us through this whole entire process, even though that it was new and different. So Randy, thank you for all your time and attention and support in this as you're off doing some other work. And hopefully we didn't mess it up too much.
Big, huge congratulations and thank you to underscore what Bob was just saying. Couldn't have done this without you, our participants. And I gotta say, I'm watching the Discord server, the channel, specifically the IUGS live stream channel on the DevMesh Discord server, and it is popping. I don't know what to pay attention to. I need to pay attention to what we're presenting, I know, but there's a lot of activity that's happening over there if you're not already there. Activity from people who are most likely representing all of these schools. 23 schools, some odd. And, everything, is, as Bob had mentioned, was definitely seen and poured over. And the judges, of course, made their judgment. But, from what I had seen at a distance, I mean, certainly, let me tell you, as someone who likes playing video games sometimes, I gotta say, congratulations to every one of the participants for doing something that I could never possibly do. So, thank you. That, to me, is the accomplishment. So even if you...
Chris?
Yeah, go ahead.
If you look behind you, it says NYU.
Oh, sorry. I'm like... I could probably do that easier. I can just, pop out and in and out, but it's easier to move my chair. Isn't that much more slick? Don't you wish you could do that with streamers? Just, get out of the way. I don't want to watch the streamer. I want to watch the thing behind him. But thank you. It's very nice to have producers. Okay, so... honorable mention is going to be going out to the following games and teams. Everybody, once again, thank you for submitting to this virtual showcase. And while these games didn't make the finals, we were impressed with the work and the creativity that went into these games. And if it wasn't already clear, you can review them as well on the DevMesh website. So, everyone, like I said, even if you don't agree with the judgments, you can make your own judgment call. That's what's so nice about this program. And I gotta tell you, some of these games I really do want to play. I don't know if I'd have enough time to play all of them, though. On to... I know I don't have a fancy, pad that has a real drum. The finalists. What we've all come together for to see the finalists. Up first... Light Within the Darkness, an immersive horror experience from the University of Wisconsin-Stout. It's inspired by the works of H.P. Lovecraft. It pushes the envelope of 2D game design. You investigate a mansion overrun by monsters and complete the ritual to close the portal from the other plane. Now, before you go fishing, by the way, for an audio, these are actually animated GIFs, or GIFs, we can have that argument, that are playing here. It was a little easier. I say GIF. That's me. I think we can all agree on the pronunciation, right? See, that's...
It's a peanut butter. I don't know.
The internet says no, we can't agree on that one, but anyway.
No. Okay.
Oh, man. See, I gotta tell you, before getting too far into it, I'm a retro gamer. I like the old school kind of look and feel of graphics. That's me personally. But I wasn't a judge. Up next, Ozias, or Ozias. It's a fantasy exploration game from the Ringling College of Art and Design. Ozias is a game about a young boy whose parents were once great warriors. They told him of an ancient tale about a slumbering dragon in the mountains. Now older, Ozias is seeking out the dragon. In this adventure, he must conquer the mountains and uncover the truth. Ozias is a fully interactive, playable game that showcases the team's passion and strength in game art and design, as well as their strong storytelling through cinematics and environmental arts. Fulfill my destiny. My destiny. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. So many of these submissions were just wow. I am very grateful I wasn't a judge, because I don't know how I would have rounded things down. Next finalist, Rome, a first-person dark atmospheric exploration game from SMU Guildhall. In Rome, players navigate an increasingly chaotic and psychologically unnerving environment. Well, that's what we need right now, to be psychologically unnerved. As the very fabric of reality unravels around them, step into the role of Haley Rome, a distinguished architect who returns from a long day at work to find her husband missing and her home a hostile and unfamiliar place. At its core, Rome is about the decay of a world, looping rooms, twisted hallways, massive falls, and broken environments. Next finalist, Kui Kui, a third-person adventure puzzle platformer from the Savannah College of Art and Design. That was almost a tongue twister there. In Kui Kui, the player assumes the feathery role of Kui, a tiny, benign bird who seeks to save the world from an abrupt and total heat collapse caused by greed and infatuation. Small but not helpless, Kui must solve a series of extraordinary puzzles to help those around her while avoiding the harmful rays of light that threaten all life. See, that's up my alley. I probably need more, natural light myself. Kui Kui is a game. I do my white balance on my arm, by the way. A game about solving puzzles based on dynamic use of light and shadow and unique movement born through using light as a hazard and emphasis on teamwork. That's Kui Kui.
I think if we had a cute character, there would be a contention here with Kui Kui, right? I mean, a cute little bird.
There you go, Randy. That'll be a new category for next year.
Cutest character. Why not? Next finalist, The Slimes, a VR experience from Carnegie Mellon University. And the thing I like about this game is there's no messy cleanup. I don't know if my daughter's going to be as interested. She's 5 years old. She likes the real slime. She'll graduate to this, I'm sure. Discover a whole new world of slime. Rule over your domain as the slime god and create strange new life. Summon your materials, mix and stir the ingredients of creation, and let there be life. Remember to take care of the life you create, interact with them in unique ways, and keep them happy. So in many ways, it's kind of like being a father. You don't really do a lot, but you do have to make sure you take care of your kids, just not the same way. Next finalist, Castle Fight, a strategic building game from UC Santa Cruz. In this game, players will first use different blocks, weapons, shields, and buff to build a castle. Then the player will observe how his or her castle destroys the enemy or gets destroyed. In battle phases, the fight will automatically happen after the building time is up or both players' castles are reaching the limited height. Based on the strategy that players built in the building phase, each block will apply its utility. In this phase, players can use the commander's skill. And for some reason or another, I'm reminded of the old Atari 2600 game Warlords. I don't know why. The next finalist is We Went Back, a time-looping horror game from the University of Utah. A lot of finalists in the horror genre. In We Went Back, players find clues and experience a dynamically changing space station to escape the terror lurking within. Oh yeah, it's terrifying just reading that description. For example, although the player may stroll through their first walk through the space station and notice nothing out of the ordinary, when they circle back, they'll find an altered environment, the plants don't look the same as they were before, and the items were not where they were originally placed. The player's attention to these detailed changes are rewarded through gameplay as they find clues that help them escape. In many ways, that is like being a father, because your kids sometimes will move things around, or something will look different. It's not as horrifying.
For me, it's just, it's almost the average day as I'm getting older and walking through, wait a minute, something changed.
I'm very grateful. It's fun to play horror, just not live it in real life.
Yeah, I don't know. The graphics on this, it looks like it could just have been taken off the Sci-Fi Channel. That's amazing.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. They all look spectacular. Cowduction is the next finalist, an innovative game from Drexel University. A wacky, that's my kind of style, out-of-this-world cow abducting game. A cow abducting game. Cowduction pits milk-loving spacemen against hard-working farmers. Spacemen from dairy-deficient Lactadia fly a motion simulator and catch cows to power their ship and save their planet. Farmers in line battle on mobile devices to defend their prize cows. Wow. So is this what the military announced the other day, that like the cowductions are real? Didn't I see a video finally?
I cannot confirm nor deny.
The cowductions are real. Well, it's real. The cowduction game is real. It is a finalist officially.
Inspired by official NASA footage.
Yeah, that's what it should be. Avast from Brigham Young University, an ant venture game. In this ant venture, pirate around as Queen Ant Captain Kate, leading your miniature crew of pirate ants through the oversized undergrowth to recover a stolen booty from enemy bugs. I feel like I'm like actually watching a movie for some reason. That's spectacular.
Yeah, this could have been Ant Life, yeah.
Yeah, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's spectacular. I mean, I'm serious. Developers have always been my rock stars because I'm just a, regular old, I'm on the other end. I'm the user. So when I see anything that you guys have done, whether y'all have done, whether you're finalists or not, is just astounding.
Yeah, and the cooperative team play in this is, that's challenging stuff to do. So this one's beautiful and got a lot going on.
Next, like so much fun.
It does. Malediction is the next finalist from the University of Central Florida, a puzzle platformer. Set in a magical world that pays homage. I never looked up the definition, homage to console games.
Not sophisticated, homage.
Homage.
Oh.
Send your pinky.
To console games of the late 90s and early 2000s, a little past my prime. I was born in the 70s, grew up in the 80s. Using the powers of time and telekinesis, help the young dark mage, Morgan, chase down his evil clones to regain his magical abilities across 3 puzzle-filled levels. I do like a good puzzle game, though. Next finalist, Excalibots, a hack and slash from DigiPen Institute of Technology. You play as Percy, the sword-obsessed knight. Fight off hordes of enemies in order to collect quirky, powerful swords and defend the kingdom. Everyone can be a hero. That looked like a rubber. That looked like a wooden rubber chicken. Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was a chicken sword.
Okay.
Right?
Oh,
yeah, that's what I noticed too. It's like exactly.
Wait for it. There it is.
Exactly sure.
Okay, I'm feeling it.
PETA authorized that sword. Okay.
I'd play with it. Next finalist, Descent of Champions. It's an arena brawler from Champlain College. Descent of Champions is Descent? Decent. No, it's a decent game. Descent of Champions is a round-based arena brawler where players compete in combat-based objectives to earn the audience's favor. The audience is made up of live spectators who use their devices to engage with gameplay systems, earn currency, and influence the match to create an epic battle, I would say. And there they are. Very nice.
Yeah, that was my favorite genre, is fighting games and battle games. I don't know, simplistic for me. I just love those kind of games. Get out your aggressions.
Well, I'm doing it right now. My mouse is feeling it. Whiplash. It's a VR game from Michigan State University, the next finalist in Whiplash with Will Wheaton. No, Will had nothing to do with it. Feel like a badass. Can we say that on the internet? Can we? I just did.
You just did.
I just did. As you throw your axes to slash, gash, pull, and bash enemies in an intense futuristic VR environment. Nothing can stop you with the ability to whip both axes with incredible strength, grapple through the environment, slash and launch enemies with blunt force. That's my favorite kind of force, actually, the blunt. Whiplash. Or just whiplashing. Next finalist, Ilia. A 3D perspective puzzle from NYU Game Center. In Ilia, you use the reflected image of a mirror to solve puzzles. This game's puzzles will be designed using the knowledge of optics and properties of the mirror. So we're really through the looking glass here, people. The puzzle-solving process will guide the protagonist, Ilia, to the destination in order to move forward, as well as control the mirrors, move, rotate, etc., to make a walkable path for her. Ilia can interact with anything in the mirror as if they are real. Pretty wild.
That was just really clever.
Yeah, very. Some of these things are
It's like
so
a
creative.
twist on Portal, right? So
Right.
It's an
Optical portal,
The next finalist, Light Farm. It's an inventive farm simulation game from Sheridan College, and you'll understand why that word is used here. Watch this animation. Light Farm's a game with physical interactions. It teaches sustainable farming practices, so there's a practical use for it, as well as fun. Through the use of a custom touch-based alternative controller, you can explore and maintain a small farm. You can engage with visualizations on the agricultural cycle when preparing your soil and harvesting fresh crops. A large priority for Light Farm is to tackle a real-world problem to improve farming yields, increase the farm's welfare within the game or beyond, and save the environment. Designed for a farming audience often unfamiliar with emerging tech, so it's combining a lot of values into this one game. Ginkgo is the next finalist. Oh, I'm sorry, Bob. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to comment. I mean, it's just so inventive. I could see this at museums and other things, not just in your home, but in lots of different ways to educate people. Very cool.
For sure. Ginkgo is the next finalist. A single-player 3D horror game from USC Games. Ginkgo is set in a dreamlike space inspired by East Asian horror. Armed with a magic needle that can sew parts of the world together, solve puzzles, and outsmart monsters as you explore this surreal world. Playing as a young woman at her estranged mother's funeral, a chance sighting of your mother's ghost allows you to explore a dream world that shows you life from her perspective. Gain a greater understanding of why your mother, a famous seamstress who worked herself to the bone, acted the way she did, and potentially reconnect after her death.
Spooky.
Yeah.
And so realistic. This is not the game you play just before you try to go to sleep.
Yeah, that would be more like, cowduction. No, I wouldn't. No, I don't know if I do that before I sleep either. I know what. Yeah, that would be. Okay, so that lists our finalists, and at this point, definitely wanted to cover something that is very important to anybody who might be participating with DevMesh, and that is specifically around the Intel Game Dev Boost. Eric, do you want to say a little bit more about this?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. So, guys, again, million thanks for getting your games in. But good news is, because your games are now already in DevMesh, if you go back, and a little block in the bottom right here kind of shows you what I'm talking about, right? Go back into your project, right next to Project Scope. Hopefully, you've already marked it as a game. There should be a very simple little click here, and that will let you seamlessly submit your game in to be submitted for testing to get RGI certified. And then once we get you into the Runs Great on Intel Technology program, we can then add you to the Intel Game Dev Boost program, which, as you can see from all the graphics at the top, has lots of influence. So we're not just here to do this one little thing. We'd like to continue on, build on the relationship, and help you guys get your games to be even more successful. Also in concert with that, I had a conversation this morning with our friends at Epic Games. And I'm sorry this isn't on the screen, but I can I'll put the link in the chat window of the DevMesh Discord. They are still looking for people with their mega grant funds. So if you used Unreal Engine, especially in the making of your game, they are still looking for applicants to get funding through that as well. So we are here to try to help you best we can to make your game successful.
And this goes for anybody who submitted, not just the finalists.
Yeah, any of the games submitted can get into the RGI, and then obviously the Epic Mega Grant is intended for those games that use Unreal Engine. But yeah, absolutely. And if you had multiple games and you submitted one and you want to submit a different one, you can still put it into DevMesh and get it through the process. You don't have to have you don't get only one shot at it, for sure.
Awesome. So now this is the moment I think everybody has been waiting for, the awards, and I've got one right here. This is not my award. I'm not actually a participant, but I'm gonna change the camera angle here so I can show you a better view. It's a 2020 University Game Showcase. This is the Innovation Award here, but this is what it'll look like, right? It's really nice. I don't know. Do I have to send it? I probably should send it back. I don't deserve this. It's very nice. This is very nice. But that's what it looks like. That's what some of y'all are getting. Not this one necessarily. Or maybe I think I do have to send this back because I've done nothing innovative. So I do not deserve
But you're an honorary member.
I'm an honorary member. I can go that way. So here we have the 2019 Intel University Game Showcase winners. Just to recap, these are the participants who won last year. I'm sure that if you're digging for the links, they will be populated in the Intel DevMesh Discord server, but this is kind of like a brief mention. Sorry about that. I got a big head. I can make my thumbnail smaller. I can be like icon size in the corner. That's my back, by the way. Do you hear the creaking? That's not my chair. That's my back.
Sure.
At least I'm not sticking to the chair right now. Okay.
Yeah, that's the important part.
So, for best gameplay, this is the first category. We've got these 3 games. Ginkgo, Malediction, and Avasti. And the envelope, please. Avasti. Nice applause. Avasti gets the best gameplay award. Congratulations.
We put a wave in there. I guess it didn't come in the
It did.
finest.
I heard it.
No, he did. It was on the. Yeah, you couldn't hear it from your headset, Eric. That's all.
Up next. Yes,
Well
and
deserved.
definitely congratulations. Best visual quality is the next award. The finalists for this are Ozias, We Went Back, and Avasti. The envelope, please. Avasti. Wow. We're doing a sweep here. That's crazy. Okay. All right. These are our picks this year. But like I said, everyone's gonna have a different choice. You're all winners in my book. The last award that we're giving away is actually this, the one that I was holding up, the Innovation Award. You may actually get the one with my fingerprints on it, so don't use my DNA to clone me. I wouldn't recommend that anyway. There's only one award for this particular category, and the award goes to Light Farm, and I think for pretty good reason. If logic dictates, the fact that it could be used in real-world situations to help farmers as well as to educate about the environment, the interactivity of it between physical objects and virtual objects, you got to admit, that is pretty innovative. So, go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, Chris, Randy mentioned in the chat that this is the first time ever any game has swept 2 categories in the history of the Intel University Game Showcase. So congratulations to that team.
That's incredible. What is also incredible is that we have pretty much ended the stream in less than a half hour. That's great. Especially for a live stream that came together thanks to everybody who worked on it, the DevMesh team, all the participants for being able to redo things so that we could do this online. Everybody really who was a part of this, deserves to be thanked, and of course the winners congratulated. All the participants, I think, did a fantastic job. That's all I had to say. Anything else from the virtual team here?
Well,
I
go ahead. You first, Bob. No, you first.
I want to thank all the teams. This was tough. This was a moving target for all of us. You stuck with it. You got your games in, and using a platform that you hadn't used before, that we hadn't used it for this purpose. And I appreciate every single person who reached out to me, said, hey, why is it this way, or what's going on with this, and checking in with me, because often it was on our side or something that we didn't understand, and you helped us improve the process. So that community interaction was great. We really appreciate it. We were all in this together, and it was just amazing to see the quality of work from everybody that ended up in this showcase. And I think everybody who just witnessed all of this just can attest just such quality games. So I want to thank everybody for the time, patience, and effort into this. I'm very proud of everyone.
And the only thing I'd add to that is we have just a couple minutes here before we close. We hope you guys enjoyed this. We did our best to make it as real as we could in this new environment. But if you wanted to give us any feedback, as Chris mentioned, even after the live stream's over, the Discord channel will be up there. So if you want to follow up with us, please let us know. We'd love to hear your feedback. But we did try to make it as a productive experience as it could be for you guys. So thank you for your patience.
I personally like virtual events, but I'm a homebody. I'm not moving from this chair until I go to bed. No, actually, I will move from this chair before I go to bed. But thank you for joining the virtual event, which was every bit as good as a real-world event, to be able to recognize everyone who was involved. So at this point, I'm going to say, may the Force be with you, always.